This episode of iFanboy's San Diego Comic-Con coverage is brought to you by Graphic Audio, GoDaddy, and eMusic.
Only a few more minutes to get a free photo. We can even use your camera. We will take the photo absolutely free, but you only have a few more minutes to be a part of television history.
To San Diego Comic-Con International 2008. We are iFanboy. I'm Josh.
I'm Ron.
And I'm Conor.
And we're here again. This is our third year in a row at the San Diego Comic-Con. This is the biggest gathering of fans of comic books, movies, video games, toys, pop culture, cult culture,
Go.
science fiction,
Yes.
fantasy.
And Trekkies.
And Trekkies, medieval warriors. They're all here. People dressed up like stormtroopers. Everybody's here.
If you have a pop culture itch, it is here to be scratched. But we are here to talk about comic books, and there's a big show coming out.
And this is the mecca of the beautiful city of San Diego. We're all here. We're the calm before the storm. We're outside. We decided we'd take it easy before heading into the madness.
I'm here with Jeff Parker, comic book writer, and he's fascinated with the camera. So you're doing the majority of your work with Marvel these days.
Yes, I'm doing their work.
I was first turned on to your work on X-Men First Class, which admittedly I dismissed as a long, diehard X-Men fan. I dismissed it.
You dismissed the hell out of my work.
And then,
Cool.
and then I read it. I read the first hardcover, and I loved it, and I buy it every month now. So what was the approach with that? Because it's a little controversial because people don't understand whether it's in continuity, out of continuity.
It is in continuity as much as we can possibly make it without saying it's the 60s, because that would make all the X-Men like 60.
Yeah.
We thought of it as a gateway book where it's like, that it's very easy to grasp the concept of the X-Men through those core characters.
Yeah.
And we just wanted to bring people in. It's like, here it is, here's the very basics of it. And it's kind of a simpler time, so we don't have to be so dark and ugly with everything.
Yeah, the book is very bright, and I love the fact that you're
bright.
Yeah, it really, and you're pulling in other people from the Marvel universe. The guest stars in every issue, and I really like the one and done format when it first started. So it's just been a great book. It's been a lot of fun to read.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome. And so you're doing a book for the Sentry.
Yes.
Now,
Over here, this Dave Bullock, who's sitting casually back there, is doing the covers for it. This, by the way, we're using we're totally intruding on Darwin Cook and Cameron Stewart and David's table.
It's okay. They're cool.
But they're cool.
Yeah.
And
so I'll be honest with you. The Sentry's it's a character a lot of us have had a hard time with.
what you're trying to say is you don't like the Sentry.
He cries.
I'm going to change that.
He cries a lot.
And so,
Does he cry in your book?
actually, I do have one tear in the tradition of a crying gorilla. No, we saw a way to make the Sentry kind of palatable and fun.
Yeah.
But there's also going to, you'll have to read it. I can't quite give some stuff away, but there's also going to be hints of something else going on, and the fact that what you're reading are, what the Sentry's version of himself is.
Yeah.
And as you go through until you get to the last one, you'll be able to see little cracks in that veneer. And then the last one's going to have some stuff that's going to really make people mad. So I think you ought to read it.
All right. Well, yeah.
Mad.
So, and you got some other stuff coming up from Marvel. What else do you got coming out?
Well, let's see. Okay, I'm working on the next 1602 right now. The artist has finally gotten a chance to start on that. Oh, well, I guess I'll go ahead. You're sure this is not going to air until
We're cool.
next week? Okay. They wouldn't let me do another mini-series of Agents of Atlas. Because we've got a whole new series. So
Wow.
It's an ongoing series.
Awesome. So New Agents of Atlas. I know a lot of people really love that series the first time around.
Yeah, so get ready. That's going to be starting up before long. And
ongoing.
Yeah, yes, ongoing.
Awesome.
Gorillas, robots, mermaids, everything that makes a comic book is in that book.
I am here with Ray Fawkes and Cameron Stewart, creators of the Apocalipstix. Now this book is about a cute girl band, and then on page 3...
the world gets nuked. Yeah, and then the girls decide to go on tour anyway. So, because why not? Why not have fun when the world is over, you know? If you're going to have fun before it ends, may as well have fun after it ends.
This book just came out. Who would you give this book to? Who's this book for?
This book is for anyone who likes rock and roll or life or the world or, you know,
Anyone who's breathing.
mutants, animals. I mentioned somewhere else it was for anyone who's got 2 limbs to clap together and an orifice to whistle with. So
That's icky. Cameron, you're sort of all over the place with your work. You've done The Other Side, and then you did Seaguy, and you're doing this. Like, do you like to switch around in sort of the genres, I guess, you're working in?
Yeah, absolutely. The more that I can vary what I do, the more interesting it is for me, and the more exciting it is, and I think hopefully the more vital the work is, because I'm doing something that's new to me that I haven't done before. So yeah, I like to change it up, and I like to follow. You know, I'll do something really grim and dark like The Other Side, and then follow it with something really light like this.
And I mean, are you like in a different mindset when you're working on something like, because like The Other Side was grim and dark. I mean, and did you were you doing research for that? Did you travel or something? Did I read that correctly?
Yeah, I actually went over to Vietnam to research it. Yeah, I killed a guy too, just to get in that, to get them that mindset of a.
You can do that there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, life is cheap. No, I went over for about 3 weeks, and I traveled the whole country and talked to people, and I read a lot of history books while I was there, and just immersed myself in it, because when I was working on that book, I mean, I wanted to be authentic, and I'm not American, and I grew up after the war ended, so I didn't have a personal connection to the material, but I felt like in order to do it right, I had to make it feel convincing. And so the way that I felt like I could do that would be to go over and actually experience the country for myself. So yeah, it was an intense experience, but it was great.
Now you work with Jason Aaron, Grant Morrison, so you got to be feeling pretty good about the company you're keeping.
I'm in good company,
Is this a book that's going to keep going on, or is this a complete story? Or?
There's a second volume that's going to be coming out as soon as we can make it, and it may well go on from there. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Any other projects coming up that we can? Or you just working on that?
I have a book coming out from Top Shelf next year called Junction True. It's with Vince Locke, and it's about as far from this as you can get. It's a horror story about a subculture that performs plastic surgery on themselves. So I like to change it up too.
Is that a fictional story, or is that?
Yeah, it is. Although for the Apocalipstix, just like Cameron going to Vietnam, though, I did travel out to Death Valley and build my own van and fight people for a while.
Wow.
Some road pirates, some mutants, stuff like that. So I was doing some research too.
Did you kill anyone?
No one human.
So I'm here with Gabriel Ba and Fabio Moon, the brothers that are taking the comic world by storm. How you guys doing?
We're good. We're good. Yeah.
Storming.
We're storming, yes.
So you're up from Brazil for the convention, right?
Yes.
So how does San Diego compare to Brazil?
Compared to Brazil, like the country?
Small, yeah.
Yeah, San Diego is really small.
Bigger,
really
yes.
small.
We have much more monkeys.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys in the past year have just pretty much exploded on the scene. You're trading off on Casanova with Matt Fraction. There was the Umbrella Academy, and then you got the B.P.R.D series coming up. What is it? What do you look for when you are picking a project, knowing that everybody's really excited about your artwork these days?
I don't know. When we're not working on our stuff, we really try to pick things that we're excited about and that will be, challenging for us as artists, and that could in some way call attention for what we do also. So, but we really have to believe in the project, so we don't pick anything up.
Right.
Not that they throw projects at us, they don't. But we really have to like what we're doing.
Yeah. Well, it just seems that as everything comes out, we just hear more and more about your guys' names, and it's interesting to see you guys now collaborating together. Was that something? I mean, do you have your own projects? Or are you looking for projects that you can work together on, or?
Well, we've been working together in Brazil for so long, and so that's always a plus. We like working together; it's a great collaboration, and so if they have projects that both of us can work on, it's better for them, it's better for us, it's better for everybody.
Yeah. So you're working on the B.P.R.D. 1947. That's kind of Dark Horse's Hellboy, Mike Mignola. So what has that experience been like working with Josh Dysart and that team?
Well, so far that's just exciting. We are not tired yet because we haven't started yet. But we'll be very tired by the end and excited.
It's like a dream come
true.
If there's anything we would like to draw, it's like Hellboy universe. So that's really exciting.
Awesome.
Graphic audio is a unique audio entertainment experience that features a full cast of actors, sound effects, and cinematic music that creates a movie in your mind. Graphic Audio has published over 300 action, adventure, and science fiction titles, including the recently released DC Comics' Batman the Stone King. Upcoming DC Comics releases include Superman the Never-Ending Battle, The Flash Stop Motion, Wonder Woman Mythos, and Green Lantern Heroes Quest. Go to graphicaudio.net, type in iFanboy into the coupon code when you purchase CDs or MP3 CDs, and receive 40% off your first total purchase. Brought to you by graphicaudio.net, a movie in your mind. I'm here with artist NICOLA SCOTT. How are you?
I'm not too bad.
Yep. So you're an artist. You were on Birds of Prey for a while.
I was on there for 2 years.
Yeah. And now you're on Secret Six.
Yes, I am.
And I've heard that you made the leap into comic artistry. You just basically went in. You said you wanted to do it, and you jumped in.
Yeah, I did actually. Where'd you hear that? I decided that I wanted to draw comics with very little experience of the industry, very little knowledge of the business, and very little knowledge of comics themselves. I wasn't a big comic book reader. I just love superheroes.
So that was it, just your love of superheroes. You decided one day I'm going to do it?
I
Are you that brave?
just needed a career. Yeah, kind of. I just needed a career, and it came down to what can I do, and of the things that I can do, what do I like to do with it? And one of them was I like to draw, and I like drawing superheroes. And there are people that get paid to do that.
Did you take art classes, or you art student?
I come from a creative family, so I just kind of grew up learning how to draw. And it was always sort of cultivated by my mother. She was always sort of guiding us. But apart from that, no.
I have noticed from reading Birds of Prey that from the beginning to the end, your art, definitely there was an arc of I don't want to say improvement, but you could see that they were getting better.
I drew more pages in, I think, the first 6 months of working on Birds of Prey than I had drawn in my entire career put together.
Right.
So it was a big learning curve, seeing if I could actually keep up with the monthly, because it was the first monthly book that I'd ever worked on. But it also gave me that opportunity to work on the same characters over and over. And once you sort of get really familiar with characters, which happens over a few issues, instead of having to then leave and go and get familiar with more characters, I could then just sort of start developing the art and take some braver choices.
I did notice that by the end, all of the characters have their own distinct faces, which you don't get a lot in comics. People who aren't wearing masks, you just sort of get this stock face. But I noticed you gave each woman a different face. How did you develop those faces?
It started when I started on the book. The idea of it started when I started working on the book. It's a team of chicks, and physically they're all reasonably similar.
Right.
At the time, from the issues that I've been drawing, Misfit's on the team, and she's a little teenager. And Barbara is in a wheelchair, but apart from that, physically, they're quite similar. No one's particularly tall, no one's particularly short, no one's particularly busty or curvy or lanky. And so it was like, okay, to bring in some differences that's more than just a haircut and a costume, I needed to find some body language and some set of facial expressions and a persona for them to have.
Did you model off? Did you model off anything specifically, or did you say this is how Lady Blackhawk looks?
Most of the information I took, or that I sort of developed from, was really dialogue from Gale.
Right.
You know, the way that Lady Blackhawk talks is so specific that it just sort of gave me this image of someone kind of a little bit cheesy looking, but also a little bit hardcore.
Yeah.
And so I sort of wanted to give her this sort of cheesy, smiley, dimply, flicky hair look, because she's the first person that'll punch you in the face.
This is a dichotomy of you don't expect a dimpled girl
exactly.
to break your nose.
Exactly, and she's the booze hound, so she should look kind of cute.
Now, who's in the Secret Six? Who are you getting to draw now?
Secret Six is awesome. Well, we've got the original founding members of Catman, Deadshot, Scandal Savage, and Ragdoll. Our newest addition from the DCU is Bane. And Gail has also created a brand new member to be our sixth character, who I've designed.
Was that a lot of fun?
That was great, yeah. Gail actually sort of came up with a number of ideas and gave, a half-page brief on who this person was. We knew it would be a female character. And they were all so different from each other, and she sort of talked about how they would integrate and what kind of relationships they would have with the other six. And it really they were all brilliant, and I hope we get to use them all at some point in time. But it was really about finding the one that we needed for this story. And for this dynamic, because the thing with the Secret Six is that the six is never the same. We've got 4 members from the beginning, but everyone else dies or gets pushed off a wall or,
Bad things happen.
Yeah, or racks off, says, you guys are losers, I'm off. So I don't know how long Bane will hang around for. I don't know how long our new sixth character will hang around for, but we'll see.
Now, you seem to work really well with Gail, obviously.
Yeah.
And I heard there was rumblings people wanted you to go with her to Wonder Woman, but did you want to specifically go to a book that wasn't female-centric? You don't want to get pegged as the
it's important for me after doing Birds of Prey for 2 years with almost no male characters in it at all, except for when the Secret Six guest starred in it. It was really important for me to show that I could draw men and remind myself that I could draw men because it had been a long time. So it was really important to sort of and sort of diversify a bit, because while the Birds are a bunch of chicks with similar body types, the Secret Six is a mixed team with completely different body types and different body language. So it was a lot of fun.
New challenges
being able
too.
to do that, yeah. And while yes, there was hope that we would get to work on Wonder Woman together, I'm pretty sure it'll happen eventually, because Wonder Woman's my favorite character. Wonder Woman's one of Gail's favorite characters. She's having such a blast writing it. I'll get my turn.
And now, there aren't a lot of female artists in comics, at least as far as you can tell looking around the convention. Is it?
There are when you include all the independent and small press.
At least in the big
but
companies.
in mainstream, there's not very many of us.
Now, is it odd? Do you feel different? I mean, not different, but is it? You're a small minority in a big group.
I don't really think about it.
Yeah.
It gets pointed out to me a lot, and of course I know, but
it's probably a good sign then.
I have not had it work against me at all. In fact, I think it's worked in my favor that whenever I've been going to conventions on a regular basis, like coming here and trying to get work, year to year, the same editors that I go back and see, they remember me because I'm the chick from Australia with a portfolio who wants to draw superheroes. So that really helped, and I never felt at any point that it worked against me. But, I think guys are pretty fun to hang out with, so I don't feel awkward in the middle of a sort of guy-heavy group of people. Blend right in.
So beyond Secret Six, anything else you got going on in the future you can look forward to?
No, just Secret Six for the moment. I've only just started. I've just finished issue 2. The first issue comes out the first week of September.
Are you in that indefinitely? Or you?
Yeah, that's the goal. I want to commit to at least a year, and I'm hoping to a year and a half without any fill-ins. And then we'll see. We'll see. It depends on what's happening with Wonder Woman. Aaron's there at the moment, and he might be there for a good long while.
I want you to commit now.
Extremely popular there, and I'm really kind of, I hate to follow Aaron.
You're not lobbying for the job, but I want you to commit that you say that you're going to be drawing Wonder Woman. That's what I'm looking for.
Sometime in the next few years, I will definitely be drawing Wonder Woman.
Okay.
They better let me draw Wonder Woman.
Well, it's on tape. They have to now. It's going to be on public record. They have their own choice.
Okay. Oh, gosh, that's got me into trouble before.
So I'm here with Chuck BB, artist of black metal here at Oni Press, and dude, you won an Eisner.
I know. What? That's what I said when I got up. I said, what?
How awesome is that?
It's crazy awesome. It's really unexpected. I didn't really know what to expect, and it was awesome.
Yeah. So you won the Eisner for most deserving recognition, right?
Yeah.
Which is typically like a newcomer award. So black metal came out recently, and that was your first big book for Oni, right?
Yeah.
And it won an Eisner. How do you follow that up, man?
Yeah. Exactly. I don't know. Do another even more awesome book that's even more metal, and hopefully people love it as much as we do. I think me and Rick and I really love, doing this book. So I think that's what's going to show. Yeah. Not really worried about awards or anything. It's awesome that I got one, and to get something that's Eisner on it is crazy. But that's.
So do you actually have the award here?
I do, because they made me bring it.
Can I see it?
I'm not that much of a jerk that I
Can we see it?
Oh, you can.
Oh, can I touch it?
Please hold it. It's heavy.
Oh my God, this is probably the closest to an Eisner I will ever get.
That's very close.
This is awesome, dude. So do you have all day, in between signings, do you just kind of look at it and spin the little globe? And
spin it. It spins. It's like a spinner. It's crazy.
So Black Metal, the book that got you the recognition, tell us a little bit about it.
Black Metal is this.
I'm gonna put this down because I don't want to break your Eisner.
Black Metal is just this. I honestly say it's like Rick and I's love letter to metal, all metal. We call it black metal, and it's not just about black metal. It's like all the imagery and stuff in metal, and these two little metalhead twins, they just get pushed into the world of demons and Vikings and everything from your record cover artworks from Iron Maiden stuff and everything, and it's just awesome. But I think they also get a sword too.
I mean, I read it. I like that. We talked about it on the show before. I think it's pretty badass. It's definitely metal. So.
That's right. We do this one.
Yeah,
the Star of Metal.
So there's a second book coming out. Yes. When is that going to come out?
We're looking for early next year. Yeah. Cool. It's a lot of pages.
Yeah. So is it when you're drawing the metal? Are you listening to the metal?
Yes. I listen to metal and Howard Stern.
Okay.
So
what albums are in rotation?
Right now, let's see, Knock Mystium's new album, Assassins, is kicking my ass. Yep. It's proggy, space metal, black metal still, it's awesome. The Burzum anthology too, is really good, and just Torch, the Torch album, awesome. So,
that's a good one, yeah. Very cool. Well, congratulations, Chuck. You're very deserving, and best of luck to you.
Thank you very much.
I'm here with Philip Bond. How you doing?
Hi, I'm very good, thanks. Very good, having a good con.
Is this the first time you've had a table in Artist Alley?
It is, yeah.
Is it going well? Is it overwhelming?
It's like the perfect balance, really. There's not a hell of a lot of people, but plenty.
Yeah.
So you get your periods when you can just sit down and relax, and then your periods when everybody's coming up and asking for drawings of horses are the worst.
Really? Do you get a lot of horse requests?
No, actually, no. I had that in my contract. So anything but horses. No Superman, no horses.
Why? I actually saw that on your blog. Why don't you want to draw Superman?
No, it was. It's more about you'll get lines of kids coming up who don't really know what you do, and then other people come along, they know your entire history, and they'll ask for a drawing of this character that appeared in the background of something you did 20 years ago. But and then other kids, you get the whole families that come up and all they want is a picture of Superman or Batman. And
your style is different than what we see in a lot of comics. How would you describe it? Would you say it's cartoony, or you don't do superheroes, you don't do stuff like that. You do real clothes and sort of real people. Do you like being in the real?
That's how I describe it.
Okay. Do you like drawing in the real as opposed to the fantastic, or?
Yeah. And that's what works for me. It makes no sense if it's complete fantasy at all. That's kind of the worst thing to me. Dragons and wizards and stuff that has no basis in reality at all. I like stuff like sort of ecstatics and things. It's like the superheroes, but it's totally lodged in the real world.
Well, let me ask you, with the Escapists, you actually didn't even do the sort of fantastic comic book pages. Was it planned that way, or was you I don't want to draw that?
No, it was planned that way. It was sort of I'd do the background story, and then whenever you see a comics page, we didn't want it to look like I'd drawn a comics page, because You know, it wouldn't look. You know, it needed to look like an original 40s strip. So we got other artists to do those scenes.
Now, when you saw the scripts for The Escapist, did you have a feeling? To me, that was a book that felt really kind of special. Like, I mean, because a lot of the other Escapist stuff that was just sort of spin-offs of it, and all of a sudden this was this story that's really good. Did they have to convince you to do it, or like once you heard the story?
No, it was. Again, it's you know, it's kind of, there's a fantastical element to it, but really it's like really rooted in like real like suburban Cleveland.
It was Cleveland, yeah. You drew the hell out of that city. Come on.
Yeah, well, it was a long time ago, and it was at the time when I was like looking after a 1-year-old kid as well, so it's difficult to remember.
Now you worked with Grant Morrison a lot, and Brian Vaughan. I mean, like, is it different working with those guys? Is there like, do you click with Grant Morrison a certain way, or?
I think with both of them. I think we sort of clicked without having the real like sort of back and forth conversations too much. Like I generally, like last time I was here was the only time I've met Brian, and we just talked about the project, and I sort of like got the idea that, you know, we were coming from the same place, and the same with Grant as well. Now I rarely speak to him very much, but to the extent that we sort of get the same references anyway. I'm like nowhere near Grant in some levels, like his psychic plane maybe, but as in terms of like the references throughout the Invisibles, you know, certainly the stretch I did was sort of like all based in sort of 70s British cop shows, and like the whole of the Division X was they were all characters from our youth that were sort of like regurgitated into this kind of psychic police force.
Well, I think you said that there was a couple of projects that you had coming up that you can't talk about, so I can't help you out on those at all. And
yeah, we don't know if we're announcing one of them yet, so I'm gonna keep it under wraps. It's just it's a project, but what I will say is that like it's exciting because it's the first time, really for a couple of years, I'm doing interiors again, because I spent a lot of time looking after a little kid, and I'd really just done covers for a long time, covers and sort of spot illustrations. But yeah, so it's good to be back doing interior work again.
Do you start to miss it? Do you get excited to do that again?
Yeah, I'm very excited to do it. Yeah, I have missed it. You know, it's nice to spend some time. You know, you spend a week doing a cover, but to get in there and tell the story again, and like the characters, you know.
Do you find that by doing stuff that's so grounded in reality a lot of time, is there a challenge for you to make those pages sort of dynamically interesting when you don't have somebody blowing up a building and it's more people sort of talking?
No, I like that. It's to me a lot of the action is the expressions and gestures. You know, that is as exciting to me as an artist. To me as an artist, did I really say that? But that's as exciting as you know, a big sort of fight scene in, you know, in Batman or something.
Get reliable, secure web hosting from GoDaddy.com, which includes 99.9 uptime, 24/7 support, and free access to hosting connection, the place to install over 30 free applications sure to help you get the most from your hosting plan and website. If you want to make an impact online, GoDaddy.com has what you need. .com names as low as $1.99, plus world-class hosting and fast and easy website builders and much more. And don't forget, coupon code iFanboy gets you 10% off all of your purchases at GoDaddy.com. iFanboy is partnered with eMusic to create a hand-picked playlist of some of our favorite songs. Visit www.emusic.com/iFanboy, download the songs, and let us know what you think. eMusic is offering 50 free songs to iFanboy viewers when they visit www.emusic.com/iFanboy and sign up for a free trial. eMusic delivers songs in the universally compatible MP3 format, which means your music plays on your iPod or Zune with no restrictions or DRM hassles. Visit www.emusic.com/iFanboy today.
So I'm here in Darwin Cook, Cameron Stewart, and David Bullock's booth with Grant Morrison and James Syme, owner of Isotope Comics. Gentlemen,
hi.
How we doing?
Good.
How's it going?
Good. We just can't let go of each other.
Yeah. No, never.
Nice ass.
So at the convention, lots of people wear costumes. They dress up. Some go casual. Obviously, you guys are setting a new standard for dressing at the convention.
We do not dress up. We do not go casual. We do not wear costumes.
But you're dressing to impress.
Just dress
Oh,
right.
he falls out of bed looking like that, so do I.
Right.
This is the way it is.
Out of the womb.
Yeah, we were born looking like this. Shot out of the womb, let's say.
So when you come to convention, you're looking at your suits. How did you pick the suits that you're wearing today? I mean, was there any decision make? Or you like, I'm gonna go green today, or?
Well, it's Friday, and Friday is a green day.
Yep.
You think it's that kind of Friday equals green? I don't know why, but it has to.
Fuck, I wore green yesterday.
Well, Thursday equals green in your world, James.
Oh, okay.
So we live in different worlds. I'm the Grant universe, he's the James universe.
Right, it's true.
Thursday is green day.
They can cross.
Yeah, sometimes we have crossovers, and then Saturday becomes green day.
Well, you guys are setting a new standard for the dress of the code.
We try.
Yeah, you do.
So it's time for you to step up.
I know, I'm severely lacking.
We want to come back next year and everyone's dressed like this. Everyone, even the girls.
Yes.
Yeah. Making the convention a classy affair, right?
Oh, God knows it'd be beautiful. Catwalk convention.
That would make San Diego Comic-Con so much better.
Yeah. Me and you up and down the catwalk.
Everyone, no, everybody.
Everyone, okay, but we'll start it
we'll
off.
still like
yeah, we'll still be better than them. No, he's better than us. Look at this guy.
With the roaches? Oh, the mummy. I thought you were talking about the roach.
No, I mean the tiny mummy.
The tiny mummy
That's
is
what
really
happens when you
good.
die when you're only 10.
So I'm sitting here in the back room at the Marvel booth with the big cheese himself, Joe Casada. How you doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
Good, very good.
Great.
So I've been coming to San Diego for 7 or 8 years, and I remember a few years ago, Marvel just had a couple folding tables, and now you guys have like a compound.
Yeah, I mean, there was a year we had no booth at all.
Yeah, I remember that year. I was very disappointed.
So was I, trust me.
Yeah. So, but now you got this huge booth and it's a huge presence. Are you happy with where Marvel's gone in your tenure as editor-in-chief? Or?
Oh yeah, and you know, absolutely. I mean, I've been editor-in-chief during a very fortuitous time. I mean, it's one of the luckiest times to be editor-in-chief. The company's been growing, by leaps and bounds. We are now a movie studio. Who would have thought, man? Right?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And good movies at that too.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's an incredible time, and it is sort of mind-blowing when I look around, and this space that we're in right now is bigger than our booth was maybe 5 years ago.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
So in terms of context of comics in general, movies and video games, stuff like that are coming in, but how do you feel about the state of comics as you're looking at it as editor-in-chief, one of the biggest publishers, when you look at the comics industry? Do you think it's a healthy industry, or?
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, we're growing beyond our the actual comic book itself. We're everywhere now. We're permeating the mainstream media, mainstream entertainment. Comics are now part of the everyday vernacular, water cooler conversation. And comic book movies have obviously proven to be a tremendous success. I mean, just look at Hulk, Iron Man, and Batman this year, and it's only going to get better. It really is only going to get better. I mean, people keep expecting, well, when's the other shoe going to drop? Because that's usually what's happened in the past. But now, looking back at the first X-Men movie and Spider-Man, and how many years have gone by now, and every year people are asking, so is this the end of the comic book movie?
Yeah.
And it's been close to 8 years now. So when are we going to stop asking that question?
Yeah, and you got a bunch in the pipeline. I mean, Marvel's, you're laying out the Avengers planned for the movies, and so it's going to be for a while, right?
Yeah, I mean, now the new generation of comic book movies. I mean, there've been some great comic book movies, over these past few years. But now, from the Marvel point of view, what makes this different is that now they're going to connect, and that's something that they used to say could never be done, but we're going to do it, and we are doing it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's that connection within the Marvel universe that I always grew up reading, the shared universe, and love that. But it's interesting with the comics, as you edit all the titles and stuff like that, you've kind of got little pocket, not universes, but pocket continuities happening. You got the big Secret Invasion thing over here, you got X-Men over here, you got Captain America over here. How has that evolved from the original kind of shared universe? I know it's still shared, but it's also, things don't always relate, don't always add up.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have to do that. And I don't think it's really any different than than what's happened in the past. It's all a matter of how many titles you're publishing. Depending on the economy and depending on the health of the comic book industry. As a publisher, you can be publishing 20 titles a month, or in the good times you can be publishing 80. Or there was a time back in the 90s where Marvel was publishing close to 150 titles a month. When you do that, there's no feasible way you could tie everything in together. And plus, it's also unfair to tie it all in together in a direct sense. Because readers just don't have enough money to afford it all. Right. So we try to give people pocket events, and every once in a while there's a tip of the hat to the other, and we assume that they're all happening concurrently, but they don't necessarily have to tie in together. So we have a Cosmic event happening here, we have a Marvel U event happening over there, we have the Ultimate stuff happening over here, and the assumption is that, you don't have to buy it all, but if you dig a couple of these things, then sure, here you go. Here are the tent poles that you could sort of reach for, but you don't have to buy it all, and again, we produce a lot of titles, so we have to try to keep it segregated in a loose fashion.
So as you look at the books and as someone's working on it, you look at someone like Ed Brubaker on Captain America, at some point there's a decision to just get out of the way and let him do his thing, whereas there are other books like X Factor by Peter David what seem to be pulled in by these crossovers and things like that. How are those decisions made, or at what point, is it kind of on a case by case? Or
No, we make those decisions in the big writers' room. We have these semi-annual creative summits where we sit around and we talk about stuff. And while Ed is operating independently on Captain America, he's very well aware of what's happening in the overall Avengers picture and Avengers Universe picture, and believe it or not, he is tying stuff in. He's just doing it in a much looser way, but eventually you do see the Captain America book dovetail into the bigger picture, and it has to, because it's such a big part of the Avengers universe. But we do have to let these guys operate independently for the most part.
So, and with the Avengers universe, with the work that Bendis has been laying out for years, is this kind of now kind of all coming to fruition, kind of your guys' master plan, and we're all enjoying it, or?
There's always a master plan. We're usually planned out, I'd say, pretty solidly for the next 12 months, and as we start looking at 2 years, we're in broad strokes, we're very well planned out, so we kind of know what's coming down the pike. So it does help sort of guide all the other books, around. And by the way, that goes for X-Men, that goes for Avengers, that goes for, I'd say Ultimates, we're probably about a year and a half out. So, we do take careful measures to do this right. And I think it's been a very important part of our success right now, is the fact that we are so well planned out and we're not operating by the seat of our pants.
Okay. Very cool. So the X-Men current status quo relaunch, I'm a big X-Men fan, so I'm psyched at what Brubaker and Fraction are doing. Recently there's a lot of criticism around Greg Land's art and things like that, and you address that in a very kind of public manner, and I've always been impressed by the kind of candor that you've had with fans. When a situation, when criticism comes, how do you approach dealing with that, or how,
my thing is just don't shy away from it. I don't like sweeping things under the carpet and pretending like they don't exist. So, the misconception that fans have sometimes. I mean, there are things that are said on the net because it's very easy to say things on the net and then run away from them because nobody knows who you are. Yeah. But, to assume that we're sort of sitting here, we don't care about what it is that we do, or that we don't care about the universe, that we're actually out here to destroy it, is really silly. We all love comics, and that's why we do this for a living. And to think that, a guy like Greg Land is out there and trying to do, horror, to do whatever it is that he does with his art that really upsets people, it's just silly. And to what outcome? To what outcome do because there was one particular fan that I was commenting on, who had dedicated an entire, website, I believe, to playing Where's Waldo with Greg's art. And I'm like, well, what is your ultimate outcome of this? Are you just taking glee at his expense? Are you looking to get him fired? Just let us know, because, when you really think about it, that's how this guy supports himself and feeds his family. And is that really what you want to do? I never heard a response from it, but
they never respond. That's the.
Well, I'm not saying he didn't. I never got a response. But I just think fans need to think about it. And look, I wholly agree that if you don't like a book, if you don't like something that's happening, just say, hey, you know what? Not my cup of tea. I don't dig it. Yeah. But sometimes people go out there and they want to persecute a creator, and I just don't understand that mentality. Right. So I like to stand up for my guys or any creator in general, because I just think, sometimes fans need to just pull back a little bit and say, hey, wait. It's just a comic book, first of all. Right. Yeah. It's not politics, and we're not elected officials. We're just trying to do a job, and we're trying to do it as best as possible. And yes, everyone who's in this industry, if you're drawing or writing a comic book or editing a comic book, you're doing this because you love it. It's like if we were digging ditches, then I could certainly see someone saying, I'm just digging a ditch for a living. I don't really enjoy doing this, but I got to feed my family. you do comics out of love, really.
Yeah. So here we're at San Diego, and I'm sure you've been to the convention. At this point, do you still have any fanboy moments yourself when a big name walks by and you just go, oh, look at that? And
on occasion, but I've never been much that way anyway. There've been a few artists that I've always loved, and when I first got to meet them, it was really a thrill. Yeah. But for the most part, I just sort of view us all as part of a fraternity. Yeah. And I'm not a celebrity stalker, so I don't have many of those moments. Yeah. But to me, the big thrill is coming here and seeing how massive this thing is and how it's grown beyond anyone's wildest imagination, and that's pretty cool. And that's when you sort of walk and take stock and you go, wow, man, this is pretty remarkable.
Hey, it's Gordon the Intern here in San Diego. That was the end of part 1 of the wonderful San Diego coverage. There's so much that we're going to have another episode coming out next week. So if you head over to iFanboy.com, you can see that. Also, you can go to revision3.com/iFanboy for more information and for the daily episodes. You can email us with any questions that you might have or comments at contact@iFanboy. Contact@iFanboy.com. What are you doing?
Doing a good job, man. Keep it up.
You never nurture. You always yell and scream.
Good job.
So come back for another episode next week. Alright, 3, 2. I'm standing here with Homer Simpson. Homer, what's wrong with your body? Ooh, I don't know. Okay, that's great. Well, you really got nothing. It's early.